tell me what you're doing here.
Let's flip a coin. Heads I tell you, tails we go out on a date.
Warning, Otaku contains adult language and discussion. If you're easily offended, do not continue to listen. It's over 9,000!
All right, everybody. This is Otaku on Rain Man Digital. You can find us on Apple iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify, or rainmandigitalmedia.com. Or no, rainmandigital.com.
No, you're right the first time.
Oh, okay. Well, shit. What? The last show I said Rain Man Digital.
I know.
Oh, God.
I didn't want to mess up your flow.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks. Thanks
You
for
were like,
me.
next time it's on.
Right?
fucker.
And I'm like, I'm going to fucking get it. And I still didn't. I fucked up one, but I got all the other apps right.
I like
you
how-
have a computer right in front of you.
I like
Yeah,
how
I
you
know.
got it right, but then you
backtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucked up. Well, hey, you know
Always
what?
go with your gut.
Fair enough.
Put that shit on your tombstone, dude.
Right. Always go with your gut. All right. And I'm dead. But anyways, guys, welcome to Otaku. I am your host, Gregory Darkside Holmes. And as always is my ever faithful Filipino brother, David Sabal.
Hello, everybody.
And manning the board, as always, is Mr. Michael Flores.
Charlie Brown, son!
God damn it, you two. And joining us yet
I don't
again
even
is
know
my
what to say.
right is my ever lovely, amazing wife who puts up with all my anime bullshit, KCB.
You're freaking converting me, too.
I am
Yeah.
slowly.
I think you've been converted. Not you are
I
converted.
signed the papers. I didn't know.
One-
You didn't say any of this. I asked you. Did I ever tell you guys about the
one
time
of
that I
us.
found
One
his,
of us.
his stash? And he was like, I don't even like that stuff. Like, I don't even know what that is.
Oh my
Shut
fucking,
up.
my
I
fucking
swear
butt.
to God. I swear to God. He fucking lied to me. I remember.
I know what that
it was
shit
in-
is.
He was
Fuck
just
that
no.
nerd shit.
You know what?
How'd those hentai books get into my apartment?
Damn it, David.
No, he didn't blame you. He didn't. He was
I
like,
blamed you
yeah,
when she
I don't
found
even-
my
yeah,
titty
no,
mouse
they were
pad.
like a gift. I got them from Con,
They technically were gifts from Con, but I mean.
and now I'm using your titty mouse pad because it helps my wrists when I work. So
See, David, that is the one gift that is the one thing you've brought back from the Philippines that is still fucking going.
I can't believe you tried to pretend it wasn't your shit.
Yeah, you know.
But the best part
That's
was
amazing.
I
Amazing.
I was fucking falling for it. I didn't want to walk away and be like, that guy's fucking weird. He has fucking hentai and shit. Like,
I don't know what that shit is.
you know what though.
Disgusting.
Well,
Who put this here?
goddamn vandals in my house again.
I swear to God, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
no,
Let me
well,
take these away from you.
that's the thing though. Is it? I really wish you would have been like, yeah, it's cool. It's art. You know, like whatever that shit they say on The Office. It's like it's hentai.
It's
and
hentai
art.
and it's art. It is. I'm just kidding.
Didn't mean to call you out like that, but I
It's
just
fine.
felt
Fuck
it felt
it.
right.
Whatever.
I had to tell him.
I knew what it was gonna happen at some point.
That's what we like Casey on the show.
Yeah.
It's like, what else do you guys want to know? You know, he's got a weird freckle.
Oh, jeez.
Too soon? Too soon?
Where the fuck that one came from?
Rachel.
He's like, ah.
Next show, and it's David and Mike again. Greg, what happened to your wife on the show? She's not allowed anymore.
Right? I'll just like follow everything and be like,
Right.
y'all suck. You guys suck.
It just leaves
She's
horrible.
gonna become a troll of the network.
Right.
Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
This show sucks.
I don't even know how to do that. Like, I'm just, no way. I'd be like, you guys, like, you really sounded dumb on that episode, Greg. You really should think about it.
Greg, you sound like you were gobbling a dick. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, right? Unplug your nose. Why don't you blow your fucking nose, okay?
She just said she doesn't know how to do that stuff, and she just went to town for the last
But I
15
don't know how to
seconds.
type it. Like, I can't be
Verbally
like,
trolling, she's fucking amazing.
yeah. I can't. I just,
Online trolling,
my communication skills
Not so much.
need to be worked on.
online trolling is what we're working on next.
No way, dude.
No.
Those people suck. I'll tell it to your face. Street rules.
This is prison rules, motherfucker.
Speaking of prison,
Wait, what?
Speaking of prison,
Is this more Greg stories?
No.
No.
Let's do it.
no.
this one time I went to prison and I made a friend.
Prison, no.
So, as we are getting close to October, to Halloween, to spooky season, we are doing more spooky, horror, supernatural animes in the show. And today is no different from the theme of our last show. So we have two shows today. One is called Another. Yes, it's called Another. It's not another anime. It's called Another.
Another.
And
is how I
then
read it.
we're also going to be looking at Dorohedoro that is on Netflix right now. Another is on Crunchyroll. And these two are on the opposite spectrums of
Very opposite.
very opposite spectrums of horror or spooky or supernatural. So we are going to actually start with another. And another, this is going to be a little long synopsis, is 26 years ago in a third-year classroom of a middle school, there's a student named Misaki. As an honor student who was also good at sports, the charming boy was popular with his classmates. When he suddenly died, his classmates decided to carry on as if he was still alive until graduation. Who the fuck wrote this? Because it's actually a fucking girl.
Right? I'm like, dude, she's wearing a mini skirt.
Right?
Like, I mean, I shouldn't say that because it's anime,
schoolgirl
but
So this is true. We never know about anime.
she refers to herself as a she in.
Yeah, in the show. So, but to go on, the story starts with a boy named Koichi Sakakibara, who transfers into the third-year middle school classroom in the spring of 98. And he grows suspicious of the fearful atmosphere in that classroom. In particular, there's a beautiful, aloof girl named Mei Misaki who wears an eye patch and is always alone drawing pictures. So this is where, so the story starts out.
Vegas description.
I know.
Of
Well,
the
I took this from IMDb, so blame whoever put that up there. It's like the
There's
fucking
some flair in there a little.
right. This is almost like the fucking Huffington Post of descriptions. So the story starts out with Koichi in the hospital with a collapsed lung. And he sees Mei walking on the elevator going down to the basement to drop something off. As he goes through meeting his classmates, finally going back to school after being discharged from the hospital, every time he brings up Mei, everybody kind of looks at him with a sense of dread and kind of changes the subject very quickly. So with that, the show deals a very supernatural element between Mei and Koichi, and it's directed by Tsutomu Mizushima, who also directed Prison School and The Lost Village and Girls und Panzer.
That's the Prison Connection, guys.
There we go. See?
Mm-hmm.
And then the production company is Kodakawa Shoten Publishing, who also did Romance Doll, Handshakers, and Brave Witches. So we'll get into the cast in a second. This one was a highly recommended one at looking up Halloween or spooky horror-related anime. It was the top choice on most of the lists that I found. And watching it, it's fucking weird. Like, there's just...
I like it.
But it
gives me like weird Stephen King, like you're trying to figure out, like everyone talks about it, but not about it. Like they talk about the girl, but they don't talk about the girl.
And everybody seems to want to tell him about it and kind of say, hey man, this is what's going on, but nobody does.
Yeah.
Everybody just kind of goes like, hey, and then changes the subject.
Yeah.
And
like,
then
they usually say, are you sure it's a good time right now? And
Yeah.
then they go away and you're like, what are you guys talking about?
like, are you guys going to is it about her? Are you going to fucking tell him? Like, what's going on?
Did you guys watch more than the 3 episodes required?
No, we just watched the 3.
Yeah, I watched the 3 episodes, and you never really quite understand why they don't want to talk about her. I'm assuming that's the entire season mystery.
Because she says it too. Like she says it like, I'm surprised they're letting you, like when he walks into the library and he shuts the door, they're like, no. And she's like, did they warn you about me? Like she's almost surprised by it.
Right.
And he's very adamant about talking to her. She like pretty much tells him to his face, she had been more blunt, like, don't fucking talk to me. Leave me the fuck alone.
You'd be surprised how daft you have to be with the opposite sex, Gregory. Okay.
No,
You'd
fair
be
enough.
surprised.
No, fair enough. But he sees her. He's like,
So
"Hey,
you
I'm
don't
gonna
want to see my dick pic then? I mean,
Oh, no.
I know you got one.
No.
I know you got one eye, but do you still want to see it?
On fire at a bar once to get him to leave us
I
alone.
might
I
pick
had
out
to
that
scare
other
him.
eye.
Oh, God damn it, David. But it's kind of like every time he sees her, he's like, I got to talk to you. And he's like, hey, like, what's going on? She's like, go away.
But see, I look at it as like we always have, like I'm looking at the guy, like it's like you obviously know this chick's bad for you. Like you obviously, like you're being told not, like like from beginning to end on those first 3 I'm like, you already have a bad feeling about this girl. And
you're not doing anything.
So you're being what we like to call around in our girl group, you being a dumb bitch. Like, because it's like, okay, you obviously this person's bad news bears. Like, what is this guy like? It says 9th grade, but I'm like, you must be 18 and like you met a guy that sold you drugs behind a Circle K and you think he's cool because he drives a Honda. Like, that's the vibe I get.
Yeah, and that's the reason why the main character to me was not engaging.
I found him annoying.
He was annoying, and I was like, going, dude, the initial scene that I was like going, are you serious? He gets in the elevator and it's obvious that basically the girl's right there. And it's supposed to be something that he's scared of.
No.
But he does nothing.
So, no.
And he's oblivious to it.
Yeah, you should see what I wrote in my notes, Dave. It literally says what you just said. Kaiuchi is annoying. Like, I like the mystery behind this and what this is built on, but the lead has got to go. They got to either rewrite him differently the next season.
I think it would have been cooler if I loved the way, like, they showed this, like, every time I've seen any type of hospital portrayed in the animes we've covered, they're all like sweet, cool, like the nurses are like, hi. This one showed like what a real overnight hospital's like that, like going in, like there's times I've walked into an elevator and I didn't even know someone was in there and it's like, holy shit. Why is this person? You know what I mean? Like they showed the spookiness of a hospital very well, which I appreciated. They even made the chest tube look good too.
But here was the thing, though. So the guy wakes up in this hospital, and like,
he actually would.
The three characters, the three other students that are in the thing are as creepy as fuck. But like the main character is like.
He doesn't question anything.
He doesn't question anything.
They're all creepy, staring at him.
Well, he's from Tokyo, so he's probably seen some shit, so he's fine. But
he looked terrible though. Like they made him look off.
Now if they would have changed the dynamic between him and the ghost girl, let's say he was a lot younger and he had like a little kid crush on her, on this ghost, then I would feel like that would work a little better, because there are moments where he just acts like a very young adolescent that has a crush on an older girl, because he does all the annoying things. Can I see under your eye patch? What happened? He asked
he's a dick to her. That's what it is.
He asks all the wrong questions.
Yeah, and
he doesn't leave it alone. What are you drawing? Dude, she doesn't want to show you what she's drawing. She's 20 feet away. She's literally way the fuck away from you. You walk up the steps so you can ask her what she's drawing. She doesn't want to be around people.
He's an idiot. He's
absolutely
an idiot.
Yeah, no
he's
idea.
Annoying.
And like,
you guys are literally
like go to a bar as a woman and sit there by yourself. Woo, girl.
I will go to a bar this weekend as a girl. I'll tuck my dick. I'll wear a wig.
You don't even need to tuck. You could literally just wear a loose skirt. Like, why you got to take it so extreme? Like, I'm going to put tape on my dick.
Well, it makes you walk a certain way. So, yeah.
You're going to walk with, and you're going to get a rash.
It makes you walk a certain way, so it makes you walk more. Never mind.
Is it like
too much information?
Hold on.
You know what? He's referring to the walking. Is the Maryland the spring? Some Jello?
So before I'm gonna touch on the voice acting cast here real quick. But before I do, no. Before I do, as long as I've known David, there's always it is a safe spot. David at random will just bring up fucking information that you wouldn't think he would know
and stuff that I don't want to know,
and he'll just go in. He's like,
you want a friend that's going to be able to help you for that bar trip. Like, you need a good friend.
That's David.
No. David's got strong hands. He can help you wrangle stuff.
David, I want to hear it right now. You were talking like you knew about tucking your dick. Have you tucked your dick before?
Don't be ashamed. This is a safe space.
The things you learn on Otaku, right?
I feel like
I went through a period where I actually dressed in drag.
Okay.
What was your name?
I didn't have one. I just basically, it was during high school.
That's totally mysteriously sexy.
I would have called you Filipina, but I'm lazy.
Greg, I have a beautiful picture of Greg with a French beret.
Georgina.
Just call me D.
Just D.
And that actually means something.
That would have worked. That would have worked.
So
it means I got a dick.
So, he sounded like Paul Rudd. He's a dicka. He wants a dicka.
Jesus.
So yeah, I told you, go on with the voice acting.
So voice acting.
I'm David. I got a dick.
So when we watch this,
like Tu Wong Fu,
right? Fuck.
Go ahead, continue with the audio cast.
Oh, the show's going in the shitter right away.
No, it isn't.
Fuck, no, I'm just kidding. It's not.
Not with that attitude,
right? So when we watched this, it was on Crunchyroll and it was subtitled. There was no option for English. Didn't find. Apparently, there is an English voice cast.
Yeah.
That would have really helped.
Right. So Koichi in the Japanese version is voiced by Atsushi Abe, who did Inojin Yamanaka in Baruto, Naruto Next Generations, and Toma Kamijo in A Certain Scientific Railgun. Greg Ayers did the English voice. He also voiced Ganta in Dead Man Wonderland and Koji Koda in My Hero Academia. Mei Misaki is voiced in Japan by Natsumi Takamori, who was Theoplot in Interspecies Reviewers. Also voiced Tsubasa Kato in Star Blazers 2202. Monica Rials was Mei in the English. She is best known for doing Bulma in Dragon Ball Super. And also Suyu Asui in My Hero Academia. I would have liked to see how the English voice cast did, like, kind of did. Because the Japanese voice cast, like, you okay?
You just made David almost die.
You
I
okay?
had a cough. Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah.
He lost one of his balls when he was talking. Went
They're
up,
tucked,
went a little
let
too
him
high.
be. They're tucked away. That's what you say, David.
My belly.
God damn it, David.
Oh, we need to do a drag night. Oh my goodness. I've been trying to get Greg. Mike, we could totally do you too.
No.
Come on.
We could do
Strange
Greg and
times.
David, yes. Well, that'd be funny, but...
You're not confident in your legs or your cheekbones? It's all confidence. It's all confidence based. I have so much faith in you guys. You guys could tear it up. You guys would be the best Sanderson sisters ever.
I don't have the corset anymore, so.
Not with, you know what?
Did Mom know about this? This is what I'm asking you right now, brother to brother.
Later on, yeah.
After you
Probably was
while you're
wonderful
doing it or
and
after?
supportive.
After?
Yeah.
What did Mom say when you told her?
Oh, she was laughing her head off, but she was also.
Were you
like,
pretty? Now I need to see.
I'm not sure, honestly.
That tells me you weren't, because a girl knows if she's pretty or not.
Well, no,
Like,
because like a lot
not,
of my
like-
female friends, a lot of my female friends actually worked on giving me the makeup, giving everything.
just because you
got the
get
wig.
makeup don't mean you look good.
I went
David,
out.
did
one
you get
night
a drink
dressed
spot
up.
for you?
Yeah,
I like how
On
the show's
On
turned into
Because they're like, we're
into
gonna I'm gonna
David's,
take this
David's
girl home.
drag
thank
remembrance.
God. Bars people can't see in the lighting.
Memoirs of a drag queen.
I sent when we would go to a gay bar. I always send Greg to the bar. He
It
gets
wasn't
so
a gay
mad.
bar. That was the beautiful thing. But
So, damn it.
What?
No, nothing.
So this was
So-
just one season?
Yeah, it was only one season, and it's like I said, it's high on the list of like horror animes or like supernatural, like spooky animes for, and everybody's like, oh, it's like really, like all the stuff that it's like scary, edgy, and so far I'm just like,
It's not edgy.
it's not
edgy.
no, like it's just kind of creepy because like there's like the lifeless dolls that they
Yeah,
have.
what was up with that? Like, that's the whole thing. Like,
Well, but that's a big trend in Japan is
Yeah.
those dolls. Like you
you don't
people haven't
remember
been dressed
Anime
up.
Expo when I was like, there is a grown man with a pee stain on his crotch of a fucking doll next to me. What is he doing here? And you were like, it's just a thing over here.
It's normal. Pee stains and dolls. It's normal, Casey.
The pee stage part wasn't normal.
Do you
The
know?
Welcome to
Oh
Japan.
my god!
Don't judge, Casey.
All
Pee
day
stains
long.
and dolls.
He looks like it's horrible. I was like, I'm hungry. I need a drink. But
At least
yeah,
you didn't see man face, so that's always good. Piece of shit.
So, Greg, the animation of this was fine. I felt like it looked great. It looked nice. And even the foundation, the mystery that it was built on was fine. But overall, I feel like the lead, I just killed it.
That's what
He
kills
just-
it.
it
But
was-
everything
the
else was
character-
fine.
Yeah, the lead like was kind
he
of that.
reminded me of Homie from Claymore.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah.
Got small
But it's just
lips
like-
and a bad attitude.
It's almost like they could have when they started writing the character, like, yeah, you know what? Let's make it really obsessed with the ghost girl, like just super like fucking into her and like over the top. Are you sure? Yeah, it'll be fine. And then you get this.
And then you get this.
There's also some weird editing choices with
when
the
we were-
intercuts of the dolls
Yes!
randomly.
Yeah, when we were watching it,
And they
Casey
get
goes,
weirder.
it gave you a Twin Peaks.
yeah, like it just kept flashing back where you're just like, okay, all right.
Yeah, just for no apparent reason.
But then you're like, then you see, like, you briefly see the dolls, and you're like, okay, so this is what we're doing. Like, you don't see the actual doll store until the almost middle part of the third episode. Like, and you've been watching these flashes of weird naked dolls with tiny nipples. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just like, what is this?
When you're going to do intercuts like that, there has to be something introduced prior, or at least something that connects you to why that is happening. If you decide to do intercuts of dolls for no apparent reason and then the second episode in, halfway through the second episode, we finally get to a doll store. That's fucking shoddy editing.
It is.
That's shoddy editing, and you're
did not
cheating,
make any sense at
and
all.
you're trying to cheat with the atmosphere of your horror. You're trying to scare people with these odd-looking dolls, that's cheating. That's not real horror. You're literally putting an intercut of a
taking
shot.
The Exorcist style.
Yeah.
Where they take
it's basically doing the jump scare trope.
Some of them
But
were
it's not
pretty.
even, it's not
they
even
were
a jump
pretty,
scare.
like,
It's just like they cut to these weird fucking dolls, or it's just a doll with a missing arm.
They're trying to build an atmosphere without atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically a false sense of dread.
Mm-hmm.
And like
they're building an atmosphere because there is none.
It is the same technique as using a jump scare, because a jump scare is supposed to shock the audience.
But this doesn't
make them
shock you
jump.
though. It's just like
But
it's
it doesn't.
weird, and you're just like, well, what the fuck does this have to do? And then when you get to the doll store, you're like,
It's off.
you're like, okay.
Like this,
And then they don't explain
this is the
they
anime
don't really
part.
explain the dolls for this part, except it's just that's when Mika's like, would you like to see what's underneath my eye patch?
But not even that. And it's like he's
Yeah,
the
like,
one.
Find out what's underneath the fucking eye patch.
Yeah.
I had questions. That's literally all I wanted to know.
That's why I love the fact that Casey's now on the show. So whenever we watch the shows, she goes, I have questions now. Like we'll watch it through episodes. She's like, I have questions.
Well, because it's like,
And if like I haven't seen it before and it's new, I've watched for the first time with her. I'm like, I don't fucking know. New.
dude, like we would go to con and he would walk around and see something. I'm like, what is this? What is that? That's weird. What is it? And he's like, it's an anime. And now it's like, well, I'm like, I have questions. It's above me. I don't understand.
And unfortunately, that's kind of like it's a big, for me, it's a red light for a bad anime. Okay. I'm going to tell,
Well, I feel like
you
it's
guys
just
right now.
it's a bad story, though. You know,
I would say bad for me, because like I got through the first episode and I'm like going, this just doesn't hold my attention, and it's boring. It's absolutely boring.
and there's only so many
And
animes you can watch with kids.
The lead is number one.
The lead kills it.
The lead kills it, but
Yep,
he shouldn't
I
even be
agree.
the lead. The girl with the eye patch should be the lead.
right. That's the one you want to learn everything
That's
about.
the one that you
Here.
want to learn about. This schmuck, I'm like going, you're
annoying.
You're annoying, and honestly, he's draining all of the dread
Well, and then what
out of the story.
The other thing I didn't really like that I didn't like was the pacing with every time May would come up and the other class was like, should we tell him? I don't know if it's right.
How many
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like what?
How many episodes can you do that? Because they did it in all three episodes.
Like the first two, okay, I get it. You guys like, oh, we shouldn't fucking tell him. We shouldn't fucking tell him. We shouldn't fucking tell him. Third episode, hey man, look. Like when he's walking off after her, when he like follows her to the doll store, that's when one of those fucking classmates should have been like, hey man, you shouldn't fucking do that. Here's why. Nope, they just see him walk off. They're like, all right, man, cool.
That's
Fuck
also the
off.
same guy that followed there to the morgue. All right, no one does that shit. Like he's
Yeah.
already dumb to begin with.
And maybe it wouldn't be as annoying if they didn't give you or give away the mystery. Yes, you don't know all of it, but they give it away in the opening exposition, the opening introduction with all that exposition about a girl that died.
Yeah.
So you're like,
Picture of that
oh,
dam
okay, she's a
shooting
fucking
everywhere.
ghost. And if they would not have given us that, and then they played like Sixth Sense style, like, hey, this girl's around and it's conveniently
Like they
she's
not talk about her even though she's there. You know.
Yes. See, that would have worked.
That would have worked.
But
I
instead,
think of her as a zombie. I didn't get ghost vibes. I thought of her as just a reanimated corpse that made people uncomfortable.
The thing was with all the characters are supposed to have kind of like this creepy horror supernatural vibe to them.
I got my
I
boyfriend's
get
back style
nothing.
though. Like, do you remember
Nothing
that
from those
90s
characters.
movie? Like, where it's like the guy, like, and he was like dead. Like, she was just trying to make it, like, they make her as normal and as zombie as possible. Like, when you look at all the pictures, like, they make her skin tone drastically different so that
Yeah.
everyone in the room, like, they did that really well. Like, I thought it was very obvious that she has something going on.
so you
know
think
what I
she was reanimated?
Yeah.
That's
Like,
definitely. I
could
could
be.
see that.
But
Yeah.
again,
Because
like,
that's why. Well, because I thought that she was going back to the morgue,
Yeah.
go fuck around and do something, whatever. But I didn't do my homework.
Well, listen,
And-
3 episodes and they still didn't.
And they still
They
didn't.
didn't-
they
no,
didn't
they
We
get
didn't
still
include
had
it.
questions.
and that's
Yeah.
the thing is like in those 3 episodes, at least even by the third, they should have again. the classmates should have stopped and said, "Hey, man,
We got to tell you about the
we
dead
gotta fucking
chick in
talk.
the corner.
We gotta talk about this shit because we need to tell you about her."
But it makes sense to a degree the classmates not telling him.
But
anything
but
because
for
they're
3
part of
episodes
the-
straight, that's too.
But they're
like,
part of that.
They foreshadow
quote-unquote,
shit
the forced
hard, though.
atmosphere of
right.
the
But that's the
school.
thing is like,
But it's almost as if they're all guilty of something. Did they
Yeah,
murder
exactly.
her? Did they
Well,
do
the way
something?
they describe it, the way she
Yeah.
describes it when she tells it to the kid, she's like, the words was like merciless and like, it wasn't unnecessary, but it was another word, but it was like, she makes it seem like they did something, but they like do these little like side notes with everyone the entire time there. They're like, well, we might have done something, but we don't really like to talk about it. It's kind of like,
I know what
like
you
a
did last- I know
Candyman
what you- I know
style,
what you- I know
like
what you did last
killed them
summer
and
type of
shoved them
shit.
full of
Yeah.
beans.
they're like, I know what you did last summer. Don't fucking talk about it. Don't fucking talk about it.
But then they also make a lot of comments about how it's not about the person, it's about the team. And so maybe they were like, all right, well, we got to act like she's still here because then when she graduates in March, we can be like, deuces, bitch.
And
you know?
unfortunately for me, this type of story has been done time and time again, where it's an entire trope at this point. And when I looked at the anime, this anime was made in what, 2012?
yeah, but that was my thing. Is that
you can feel that the anime itself is so dated because it's using the trope that back in 2012 this would have worked. Because just like what you said, Greg, I mean, this 2012 was during the time when you had "I Know What You Did Last Summer" on
Well,
Screen.
No,
all those
that
movies.
wasn't
but the thing is, like,
2012. That
no.
was like the 90s.
So
That was early 2000s.
But for this show, what surprised me, like when I saw it and listened, like everybody's like, oh, like yeah, this like it was number one. I'm like, all right, so this has to be like a really fucked up one or like a really good one. And
as an adult watching
but, like,
school situations, sometimes I'm just like, I can't do this shit.
when watching it, I'm like, how the fuck, like how is this like a
No
top
one's gonna talk
a
about the
top
dead
one?
girl.
And nobody mentions it to him, and he's just super fucking aloof. Like he's just like,
How many times can you set up a mystery with reaction shots that start and then like, oh, 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 oh,
but so
oh,
to kind of wrap up on
say
this,
something.
like wrap up on this show, it
And
just
their eyes move tiny.
yeah, it like went into it thinking like, man, this will be really cool. This will be kind of fucked up, and was totally disappointed.
Yeah, it wasn't as spooky and
No.
as I like. If you're gonna do like, I just wish that if they were gonna do campy like type of like, I would have much rather had like a fun like Assassins classroomy type
Yeah.
vibe and
Then,
have like
like,
the dead classmate where it's like, oh, Gilbert, and it's like my finger fell off. Like I would have rather seen that than,
Do 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 do.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I just
didn't like it.
I didn't like
Yeah,
it.
I couldn't recommend this to anybody.
I can
just
fully say that I hated it.
Really?
I didn't mind it. I mean,
yeah.
I'll probably still watch it
I mean,
because I want to find out like if there's any other things because I had to now that I know that there's a dub for it, like I can do it
we're
because
gonna
my
find it.
attention
Weekend.
span is shot with subtitles sometimes because I'm just like shit.
But the problem is, voice acting can only carry so much. If the
Like-
story itself,
So we'll do this.
I'm like,
we'll find the dub version. We'll watch it, and then we'll say like, did it change the feeling of the story? 10-1, probly not.
Probably
but
not.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Was Koichi not annoying?
Yeah. The Japanese version, Koichi, annoying. U.S. dub, not annoying.
Well, maybe like,
We'll see.
like the person that does the dub, they'll be like, you know what? I watched this with my kids, and that guy sounded shitty. I'm changing him. I don't like it.
We're doing a little bit. We're going to take a little different road here, guys. Okay, all right.
I have a different vision.
So, all right, guys. Well, we are going to take a break real quick, and then we're going to come back and talk about our second show, Dorohedoro. All right, guys. We'll be back here with Otaku in just a few moments.
back to the messages.
All right, guys. We are back here on Otaku. We just finished talking about another, and it seems pretty unanimous that most of us wouldn't recommend this show. Maybe that'll change after watching the dub, but we won't know
I just
until
feel like
we
I'm
find
too
it.
old.
Too-
I'm too old.
There's just once you get past a certain point, high school dramas just ain't kicking it anymore.
I know. I'm like, yeah.
But that's a valid point. That's something I was going to say. I'm a little burnt out on that entire trope, like the
Campy high
kids
school
in
horror.
school.
Yeah.
I'm like, and also the people that are directing and writing these, they're so out of touch. Do they even know if kids even act like this anymore?
Act like this anymore?
A majority of the writers that write these ones are 40, 50 years old.
Yeah.
When's the last time they knew anyone in elementary, junior high, or
Their
high
skirts
school?
are never that short. They're never that short.
So moving on, we are going to talk about another Netflix anime, Dorohedoro. In a city so dismal it's known only as The Hole, a clan of sorcerers has been plucking people off the streets to use as guinea pigs for atrocious experiments in the black arts.
David knew a prostitute named The Hole once, right, Dave?
Jesus.
Would you be surprised?
David
No,
was the Hole.
no, we're not going back in David's history. It's not the David history
That
show.
was actually my name.
That's what I said.
God damn it. All right.
Hey, I'm just writing off your humor. That's all.
God damn
I'm
it.
stealing. I'm rewriting it. And
Rewriting it.
Mansplained it. Twirled it around.
And in a dark alley, Nikaido found Kaiman, a man with a reptile head and a bad case of amnesia. To undo the spell, they're hunting and killing the sorcerers in the hole, hoping that eventually they'll kill the right one. But when N, the head sorcerer, gets word of a lizard man slaughtering his people, he sends a crew of cleaners into the hole, igniting a war between the two worlds.
The best description you've ever done that
Right?
actually sounds like the anime I watched.
Right?
Not
No
like
shit.
the shit where it's like, there was a gentleman
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's got a green tint to his skin.
Yeah.
That's actually a
So-
miracle.
This is directed by Yuichiro Hayashi, who also directed another Netflix anime called Kakagure. And he also did the segment In Darkness Dwells on the Batman Gotham Knight anime anthology film. The production company is MAPPA, who also did The God of High School, which we've talked about,
Yeah.
Kakagure, and another show called Banana Fish, and many others. The cast for Kaiman, the Japanese voice is Wataru Takagi, who played Demi Volcano in Kishiryu Sentai Ryo Soldier, and this is fucking hilarious. Chuttlekin in Sword Art Online. Alex Lee does the English voice. He was Kazuya in Rent a Girlfriend, and Koji Koda in My Hero Academia. The Japanese voice for Nikaido was done by Reina Kondo. She also voiced Ranye in Sword Art Online, Ruby in Dr. Stone. And then the English voice was Reba Burr, who also did the diagnostic computer in Next Gen, which is a Netflix series, and Karen Kohirumaki in Sword Art Online Alternate. So this was one that I've seen on Netflix like since it came out. Always like, man, this looks really fucking weird. Like, this would be kind of cool. And then when we started watching the first episode, like, it starts off like these really, like, the intro is really fucking trippy. It's like
I loved the music.
Fucking
Though.
Technicolor.
So good.
It's
Yeah.
very psychedelic.
and
Had the best intro music I've heard yet.
the show itself is entertaining. It's funny. Kaiman loves gyoza just as much as I do, so I feel a
I
kinship
love
there.
that. Yeah.
I also love that Nikaido is like this, like, kung fu, like, sorceress,
Bad
like,
bitch with
fucking
bangs.
skateboarder, can make fucking bitchin', gyoza and
She's a
shit.
cook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? Kick ass and
So-
take names and then go make you some dumplings at home.
Right? And just all the characters are super fucking unique. Like N, who's like the head of the sorcerers, fucking loves mushrooms. He grows mushrooms. His magic ability, basically, he turns people into mushrooms and shit.
And he
Yeah. And
Wasn't I just talking about that
Yeah.
on TikTok? Kids are making mushrooms on TikTok.
and this is definitely one, I think, out of the shows that Netflix has brought over, is one of the most entertaining that they've brought over. I thought
liked
this was
it.
fucking awesome.
It's definitely one of the ones that's also very visually unique.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like 80. It's like just reminds me of like a.
It's like a
I could
gritty- it's
picture
like a
like a
gritty-
Sylvester Stallone playing him. You know what I mean? Like
it's kind
that.
of like the animation style. It's kind of like a gritty, like 80s style. It doesn't try and be super, refined and high. I would say high quality because it is, but like that very high, like Violet
Nothing's
Evergarden.
perfect by any means. Like,
If you
the
look at
guy's
Violet
got,
Evergarden,
like-
the style of Violet Evergarden, and this,
Oh, Violet Evergarden is like
that's
high
like,
art.
yeah, like that's like.
But I like the way, like the bright colors and stuff, and just
Yeah.
the way
That's
that they
where it
do,
makes
like
it up
they.
for though. Is the
It's like
colors
the
and
color palette it changes from like when you're.
But I just
Like-
love like this. It's so weird.
And
like
Yeah.
it's so weird. Like the fact that he doesn't just go kill sorcerers. He has to put their entire head in his mouth, and then a dude slithers up out of the back of his throat to
Which I think is
and
his-
just say, "You're not the one."
Which I
Like,
think-
it's like what? That's so
Like,
weird,
I think
but it
then
was so fun.
What's cool is like they don't tell you, but like I'm pretty certain that's his human head. Like somehow that's still like there. And
I don't know, because like they allude to the fact, especially in the beginning episode, when he sees the alleyway
Mhm.
and you see the figure down at the alleyway, and he basically says, "I remember this alleyway,"
And he always ends up back in
And he
that
always-
alleyway.
and he always
Well, and if
wakes
you
up. I think it's another sorcerer. At least that's what I.
Well, yeah, no, that's what they said, because that's the little, I don't want to like ruin it for anybody, but like that's what towards the end, by the third episode, they're all looking for that same sorcerer.
the same sorcerer.
yeah, because they want to.
And they captured him, I thought. That was a little dude.
They were looking. No, they were looking for him, but they haven't found him yet because N wants his cleaners, who are also sorcerers, but they're more hands on, like they're more violent, like the guy that wears the heart mask.
They look like the stereotypical, like, go get 'em, Flotsam and Jepsen type characters. Like,
Yeah.
they're all goofy. It's actually really quite funny. Like, heck yeah.
And the thing about like the thing about the characters, when you take a look at it, the whole story itself is very
Complex but fun.
no. It's very actually generic, because it's a story about a guy who has no memories hunting down sorcerers, hunting down magic users. And if you think about it, because of the visuals they decided to plant inside the anime, that's what brings the story to life, honestly. I mean, like, I love the different choices they making, like, say, something simple like the way the sorcerers use magic in general. It's all because of the one apparatus that's attached to their finger that lets out the smoke.
But it's not always
wear
that. But
masks,
they're
though,
all
too. They all have, like,
different.
the-
Like,
They're all different.
but one, like the masks are different, and then one of the cleaners, like she basically like spits, like she heals by like basically spitting the black smoke out of her mouth.
Yeah.
Isn't that, but then we're also, but like the one chick bit her finger. And like, so I
Yeah.
think they all do like,
They all do different things.
It's all different, but I like what the visuals again are what help make the story.
Mhm.
The story like
I
is
love the relationship
is
between
complex,
the two,
but
though,
it's
the
also
two main
simple at the same
characters.
time, because it's simple in the fact like you know what he's trying to do, but it's complex in each character because you don't really know Kaiman's backstory of who he was before his head his head got turned into a lizard head.
Is a lizard.
but they're very adamant about how much, like, they show the dynamic between those two, like how much they
Yeah.
care about each other. Like they made it like when they were fighting and, you know, she passed out and he's like, "Are you crying?" It's like, "Hey, you're a dick." But like they show like how much he cares. And
well,
then,
and then I think the third episode, like when she kind of gets like knocked out and he gets fucking pissed.
yeah.
Like that shows how much he cares for her, and then her risking the fact that him finding out that she's a sorcerer, like she's worried about that, shows that type of friend. She's like, I don't want him to find out because like what's going to happen then. That shows that she values their friendship and she cares about him, because one, she wanted to save him, so she risked people knowing that she's a sorcerer to save him, and also him possibly finding out.
Yeah.
And
It's like a story inside of it.
yeah,
A
so they have
story.
like, you know, kind of these different storylines kind of all running at the same time, but everything kind of centers around them trying to find this one sorcerer to basically both sides want to kill that sorcerer so that one, Kaiman can turn back to normal, but also that when he turns back to normal, they can use magic on him and kill him for killing
all the
other sorcerers.
that
Yeah.
he's destroyed.
And I like the dynamics between him and Nikaido, and then also the two cleaners, where they're kind of like, hey, you know, let's see who can, you know, take out the most people. What I do like is they have like a dead day in the hole where
The zombies.
like zombies come up and they hunt them, and like they gather tags that are implanted in their heads, and you can turn those tags in for prizes.
But it's like, but you watch
It's like,
it.
what was that in Simpsons? Like, what was it Whacking Day in the Simpsons? Like where they're hunting the snakes and everything. Does somebody remember this episode? Am I literally going down a
fucking
hole?
crickets because
Right.
no one else has
All
it.
right,
I can't
perfect.
remember.
I'm the only one watch the fucking Simpsons in here.
Well, it
God
just-
damn it.
I just didn't like. You think you're watching, you know, it's sorcerers and there's some iguana dudes, but then they're like, oh, we're gonna bring in zombies. I was like, okay, all right, I can mess around with this. And then when they start showing like those that funny kind of slap funny humor, I dug that. I liked it that wasn't super serious. Like it wasn't like, I don't know if I could have taken him as a character seriously if he
No.
wasn't funny and he wasn't eating like, you know, goiza all day long. You
Yeah.
know, like I don't know if I could have taken it if he was like, I need to find the man that did this to me. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
Like if they made him kind of like the wandering samurai, where he's like,
or like
No, you
I
can't.
have a
you
Batman.
can't do
No,
this.
like
you know,
this is like the characters are done perfectly.
They fit with the type of genre and style.
totally could have been an 80s like
Right.
whoever, Sylvester
And
Arnold
like
could
one
have
of
been
the
there.
points, like what I like about Nikaido is that she doesn't mind like fighting and things like that. But then like there's a point where she gets jumped and she accidentally kills. She actually kills one of the attackers. She goes, man, I've gone and killed somebody again.
Do you want to know what else I really liked about it, though? Is that they show, like, it got a little weird in some parts because they show, like, they talk about, like, all these horrible things that the sorcerers are doing. And the sorcerers, they make comments about how the sorcerers don't even know. Like, they don't even know that the zombies come back because of the magic they use. They don't know that because they don't care. But they just show them.
The city,
more,
the whole.
I'm talking about when like the guy, like they show like when they start like they want to turn him into bugs.
Yeah.
And so like that totally made my true crime little fluttery heart because I was like, okay, we got to like weird. They show the weird seal and they cut to that scene where she's like half bug, like Jeff Goldblum style with his, I loved it. That was like, I was like, this is like my 80s, 90s trashy movie wrapped up into an animated anime that I liked. I thought this is the best one you've ever suggested to me. And I'm saying that on record.
It's on air, guys. It's on air. But what I like, and like kind of piggyback off what you said about like the sorcerers doing that, is that they don't care what happens to the whole, like that's their basically their playground to go and experiment.
Yeah.
Because every time they use their magic there, it warps the city. It warps the buildings. It warps everything. And they just go in there, and the way I reference the one sorcerer that goes in there, and he's like, "Oh, I finished my practice today," or like, my transmogrification practice. And it's like
but it's like they show it in such a dark way. Like they show her with like blood in her mouth, and she's got fucking roach arms. Like it was like, whoa.
And it's just like, and he gets mad. He's like, it wasn't good. No, bro, it fucking sucked.
He got really upset. Like they were making fun of him.
You are shitty.
It's like you're a really crappy sorceress.
Like, dude, if you're going to sit there and turn somebody into a bug, you might as well fucking, like, really fucking do it.
But it just,
Instead it's like, bam,
halfway.
You've got, like, bug arms and a bug face. I'm a sorcerer, yeah. And that was, like, his thing. He's just like, oh, yeah, I'm a sorcerer. Fuck you guys. And
not a very good one.
No. And so the thing is, like, in that point, he gets mad and attacks the Kaido. And
hijinks arise.
Yeah. And so one thing that I do like is with Kaiman that magic doesn't work on him. And that's kind of the also basis for the sorcerers wanting to find the person that did it to him.
Well, that's part of the mystery behind
that's what I like it, is that because the sorcerer did this, no other magic works on him. So it's basically like, well, fuck, we can't use magic on him, so we everything
But I'm
has
also
to be,
just the whole. It make me want to keep watching because A, I want to know why, but also B, I know that that's going to end up hurting him somehow, and I'm waiting for that moment where he's like, because anytime he gets into a fight with him, he's like, magic doesn't work for me, and I was like, I can't wait to see what's going to happen next.
Because essentially at some point the magic is going to work on him.
Right, I'm just waiting. Like, when are we going to see the sorcerer that actually can?
Right. So I thought this show was great. I recommend this 100% because it's fun. It's fucking action packed. The visuals are amazing.
It's an adult anime. I actually appreciate it. Like, I just it's an adult. Like, I can watch it because I'm like, dang girl, I know what that's like. Like it's sometimes you just want that.
But this is definitely not an entry level anime.
No. It's not an entry level anime, though.
But I don't think it's so funky that people that are like newbies like me that I could totally, it's not like
from the sex side of things, it I think typically that shocks a lot of people, but just from the gore aspect and the little bit bizarre,
the bizarre way that they approach it is very nuanced.
It's something that you don't typically see, and that's something that I'm drawn to because it's very unique. It's creative. But yeah, I think from a newbie, they might be a little like, whoa,
what
shit, a guy inside of a lizard's head.
You know what, though? I mean, the same face was very like, House of a Thousand Corpses. Like, it's just like, I feel like if you were a non-anime fan that fucked around with horror, like, you could be like, try this, Like, I think it would be, I did not have the conversation where I looked at him, I said, why are you making me fucking watch this? Like, there was that part where it's like, ugh. Like, why are we watching this? But it was really good.
Yeah.
Like, I liked it a lot, and she was a badass.
I think this is a good recommendation. Like, if you like horror or anything like that, this is a good recommendation you can give to somebody who might not be an anime fan. And you'd be like, hey, check this out, and they go and watch it, and then from there they
get addicted, and then you turn them in, and they're doing tricks for Sailor Moon.
Mm-hmm. That's how it all works.
David, tell us about it.
You ever suck dick for Sailor Moon?
No, not Sailor Moon.
What about for Black Hat? Or what's his name? Tuxedo.
Tuxedo mask?
Mask.
You ever suck a? Oh my god!
You ever suck dick for Dragon Ball Z? If Ryan was here, he'd be like, I did.
No,
I would.
Not Dragon Ball Z.
Greg, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna have that conversation with yourself, talking about you wouldn't do your favorite voice actor.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't turn tricks with I wouldn't turn tricks with Christopher Sabat.
Yeah, right. Sabat slot. Or what are they? No, Sabat thought.
Jeez.
That was fucking good. I gotta give you that.
Oh my god, that's perfect.
Oh shit. Well, we go around the room. David, do you recommend this?
Yeah,
Dorohedoro?
I would recommend this this anime. Not
another.
Because
Casey, would you recommend Dorohedoro?
Absolutely, that was my favorite one.
Mike?
Sure. Yeah.
Mike just woke up.
I didn't.
Mike took a nap.
I didn't dislike it. I felt like there were moments that were a little convoluted, and that's why I was kind of remaining silent because I didn't want to shit all over you guys' parade.
Not today, not this time.
I did like it. It's just
Not your style.
I think there's a lot. There's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
You don't know who the good guys are. You're like, who's the good guy? Who are we supposed to be rooting for? You introduce the good guy as just brutally murdering people. That's a little off-putting. You're like, okay, so am I supposed to follow this guy? He just cut a guy in half into millions of pieces. Then he ripped a girl's face off.
Because she was rude. She was rude. She was rude. Don't act like you don't want it. There's sometimes I would rip your eyes out.
I didn't hate it. I just think that there are moments that could be considered convoluted, but I do give it a lot of points for being very unique.
Very unique.
And very creative, and there is a smarts to it, and that's why I do recommend it and say, yes, definitely watch.
So for this show, guys, another not a big recommendation, Dorohedoro, a definite recommendation. I want to thank all you guys for listening. Again, guys, you can find us at RaymanDigitalMedia.com, Stitcher.
Oh, look at you.
Spotify, right? I'm getting it right. Stitcher,
'Cause we shamed
Spotify,
him.
Google Play, and Apple iTunes. Give us a like. Check us out on social media. Thank you guys for listening. I'm Gregory Darkside Holmes with David Sabal as always, Michael Flores, and the lovely Miss Casey B. We'll see you guys next time here on Otaku.